Today I'm in Durham, home of Durham Women FC. Now historically, Durham has been more associated with cricket than football, but Durham Women FC are changing that. Founded in 2014, the club compete in the WSL2, the second tier of the women's game in England. They are the sole professional football club in the city and one of only two independently owned women's football teams in the top two tiers, which are not affiliated with a men's team. And usually when I film these videos, I try and visit places that have a connection to the clubs and nations that I love. Most of the time there's one or two connections. Today there are four.
Four? That's insane.
I'm going to be chatting to two New Zealand internationals who have just returned from qualifying for World Cup 2027. Forward Hannah Blake, who had spells at Perth Glory and Adelaide United, and set-piece specialist Michaela Foster, formerly of the Wellington Phoenix. They're joined in Durham by Venezuelan international and former Knicks and Melbourne City striker Mariana Speckmaier. And as a Bradford City fan, some of my earliest footballing memories were watching current Durham manager Neil Redfern in the Bantam's Premier League glory years. But before I head down to the awesomely named Maiden Castle, here are a few other links between Durham and New Zealand. Now, there are long-standing educational ties between Durham University and the University of Otago, with Durham University being a member of the Matariki network of universities. Auckland Museum is currently hosting an 18th century Maori war cloak on a 5-year research and exhibition loan from the Oriental Museum at Durham University. And finally, in 1841, the city of Auckland was named after George Eden, the Earl of Auckland, who had family roots in West Auckland, a village in County Durham. Welcome to Maiden Castle. Today, Durham hosts Sheffield United in their final home game of the season, knowing that a win would leapfrog them in the table, easing pressure on the final game of the season away at local rivals Newcastle United. And with the warm-ups underway, the team sheet was in with Blake, Foster and Speckmaier all in the starting 11. Make sure you like and subscribe, as this summer I'll be heading out to World Cup 2026 following New Zealand, the All Whites, and it'd be great to have you along for the journey.
Castle, please welcome onto the field Sheffield United and your Durham Women!
And despite Sheffield United pulling a late goal back from the penalty spot to make it 2-1, Durham held on for a vital 3 points. So I'm joined by New Zealand internationals, Michaela Foster, Hannah Blake. 3 big points today.
Yeah, like you said, it's a big 3 points for us, and we know where we are in the tables. Not where we want to be, but today was a must win for us, and we knew Sheffield would come out hard and kind of put the pressure on, which they did, but I think being at home always helps us with winning.
Yeah, I think you could have probably seen it when the final whistle went. We were all pretty stoked, and like Mickey said, it's not where we want to be on the table, but contextually it's like a massive 3 points. So fingers crossed other results can go our way and we can finish the season on a high.
And you've both just got back from international duty. The Ferns have qualified for the World Cup next year in Brazil. What a location. You must both be buzzing for that.
Yeah, obviously it's always awesome, and we're lucky to do it at home as well. It was the first time we've ever qualified at home, which is awesome. So it's always special to put the Fern on and to be able to say we've done the job and qualified for the World Cup's really exciting.
Yeah, like Mickey said, being able to play at home is something that we don't get to do a lot, and obviously we live not close to home, so getting to see family was really special, and I think it's really cool to sort of have a line in the sand now and have something that we're working towards, obviously as a collective and individually as well. Yeah.
It was your league rival, Katie Kitchen, that got the goal. But what a performance from the Papua New Guinea goalkeeper, Betty Sam. She kept everything out.
Yeah, no, she was awesome. I think someone said to me, I think her name was Betty Sams or something, and they were saying her for president. Yeah. But no, she was awesome. Like, credit to them and credit to their whole team. They came after us. But if it was going to be anyone, it was Kitch. But I wouldn't say it would be with her head. But yeah, it was a great header and great goal, and it was cool to celebrate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe a little bit frustrating looking back, but we have to get the job done, and we did so. And I think maybe a learning curve for us, and not necessarily a bad thing to go through those tough games. So yeah, big result, and yeah, something to look forward to.
Durham's a long way from New Zealand. It's probably as cold as Central Otago in the winter as well. What's it been like for you moving here? It's your second season here. How have you found living in Durham? Have you enjoyed it?
It is beautiful, and I think whenever you drive past the cathedral and down the river, you kind of feel lucky to be here. But yeah, it's probably similar to home, the northeast, I'd say, in a lot of ways. It's very different at the same time, but it was obviously quite nice, like hand signed before me, but knowing that she was here, so it's quite cool to be doing it together over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. Like Mickey said, it's obviously nice to have a bit of a taste of home and being teammates, but also before I came, everyone said the people in the northeast were super lovely, and credit to them, they were really welcoming for us and other internationals as well, and the banter off the field is sort of top notch, so that always helps as well. And
I just wanted to ask a couple of questions about the A-League. Mickey, I'll come to you first, being a Knicks fan. Obviously the Wahinix having an amazing season. You were a massive part of those formative years of the club. You must be really proud looking on over at how well they're doing, and yeah, what do you make of the chances in the final? Yeah,
I think they're in great form and have been all season. I think what Bev's done there with the club this year is just something that's been built on over the last 5 years, and I am proud of the group and the club and for what they're doing, and yeah, obviously I hope they go on and win it for the Phoenix and also for New Zealand football and kind of the growth that the game's showing at the moment. And I think it's really awesome, and the quality of players they have this year too is really stepping up. So proud of the girls, and especially the ones who have been there kind of since day one. And I think Mac could be the only one left maybe from day one, but I think for her it's obviously big, but yeah, I'm excited for the final.
And Hannah, you had experience in the A-League with Adelaide and Perth. I just wanted to ask you about the growth. Obviously you touched on the growth of the league. From the outside looking in, it seems like the attendance are doing really well, like crowds are coming out in numbers. How have you sort of seen the growth of the women's game in Australia and New Zealand?
Yeah, I think it's really cool to see, especially what the PFA is doing, obviously just following from a distance and seeing on social media and watching the odd game now and then. It's clear that there's a big push towards even professionalising the league slightly more, and I think I was watching the Adelaide-Brisbane game yesterday morning, and they had a sold-out ground. So yeah, it's great to see the growth. Obviously we can both speak to how good of a league it is, obviously both on and off the field. It's summertime league in Australia and New Zealand, so you can't complain too much, but I think it's really important that the growth happens on the field as well, and it's clear that it's sort of moving in the right direction, which is awesome to see.
Well, thank you both so much for your time, and good luck next week in the derby against Newcastle. What a last game of the season that will be. So yeah, all the best.
Thank you so much.
So massive 3 points for Durham today, which will take the pressure off that final game of the season next week against Newcastle. It's an awesome setup here with a beautiful backdrop. A great place to come and watch your football. And I'd just like to thank Hannah Blake and Michaela Foster for the time and the chat about the journey and the time here in Durham. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.